starts now.
Good morning. It is 7 o'clock. It is Wednesday. Great to be with you. Grab some coffee because we're going to be talking about the California Capitol Air Show out at May. They're taking place. We've seen Karma all morning zooming around with the Blue Angels.
And May Fasai is going to be chatting with volunteers from there. We're really excited to talk more about the air show, especially we're going to be there. We're sponsoring it. We're a lot of us on air people are going to be there this weekend, so make sure you come out and say hi. One of the people who will be there as well is Adam Epstein.
I'll be there on Sunday. Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you very much, guys. So fortunately, it's going to be a little bit warmer for the weekend, even in the mornings. But right now, I mean, look at these numbers we're seeing here. Yeah. Clear Lake's at 38. I thought Fairfield would drop down into the 30s, but you're holding steady at 40 degrees this morning. And we're going to probably be steady for the next hour or two and then start warming up. So you can expect low and mid 40s to greet you as you head outside today and start your day. But in the afternoon, like I mentioned, it does get nicer. Forecast high 78 in Sacramento. If you're in Stockton and Modesto, close to 80 degrees. And in Auburn, foothills, low 70s to upper 60s. Weekends right around the corner. We're going to break down this full forecast in a few minutes, but so far it's looking really nice. Pedro and Simone, back to you.
All right, thank you, Adam. Nearly 2 years after a woman's skeletal remains were found in Placer County, her killer has finally been sentenced.
All right, 22-year-old Trang Tran was murdered in 2017, months before her husband, Michael Abeyta, was arrested in connection to her death. Abeyta pleaded guilty to second-degree murder back in July, and yesterday he was sentenced to 15 years to life in prison. Tran's parents were there to watch Abeyta receive his punishment. Special agents with the U.S. State Department helped them travel here from Vietnam to watch their daughter get her final measure of justice.
Speaking to the family was the hardest part. It's nice to have some closure for the family. Detectives worked extremely hard on this to clear our patrol folks, and it's a good closure for everybody.
Tran's skeletal remains were originally found in a thick underbrush just north of Placer County's Forest Hill Road. She had moved to Citrus Heights with her husband the fall before she was killed. Investigators could not determine her exact cause of death or a motive for the murder. Two men have been convicted of helping the man accused of shooting and killing Newman Police Corporal Ronil Singh get away. Jurors found 28-year-old Eric Razzo and 34-year-old Conrado Mendoza guilty of conspiring to help Paulo Mendoza try to escape the U.S. to his native Mexico after he allegedly killed Corporal Singh last December. All three men are in the U.S. illegally. Three other friends and family members of Paulo Mendoza have admitted to helping the man get away, and they will be serving prison time. A jury has acquitted two other family members who are facing similar charges. Paulo Mendoza has pleaded not guilty to murdering Corporal Singh.
New numbers out of UC Davis point to an alarming spike in reported rape cases. Data shows reported rapes on campus doubled between 2017 and 2018, jumping from 7 cases to 14. The university released the data in its annual security and fire safety report, which is mandated by law. Law enforcement says that they don't believe the numbers reflect a more dangerous campus. Rather, students are now more comfortable speaking out.
I think in the past it was more taboo in the sense of reporting, so it didn't get reported as often. Now it gets reported more frequently.
A link to UC Davis resources for students who have experienced sexual assault is available on our website. Just head on over to fox40.com. Police in Roseville are asking for the public's help in identifying this man on your screen. Take a good look. He's suspected of stealing more than $2,000 worth of merchandise from a sporting goods store. Authorities also suspect he went into the bathroom inside the store before fleeing the scene. Again, if you recognize him, get in contact with Roseville Police. A Sacramento home was left damaged after a suspect in a pursuit smashed into it. Take a look here. This happened on Wayland Avenue off of Arden Way. The suspect left behind a battered garage, splintered wall, and scattered debris everywhere. After the loud crash that disrupted a typically quiet neighborhood, the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office says just before that moment, gang units, they were pursuing the car believed to be stolen. The person deputies say was behind the wheel is now in custody. According to the sheriff's office here, a K-9 took down that suspect on the next block over. The homeowner, his name is Dwayne Foster, he says that this is the second time a pursuit has actually ended on his property. The first time, the pursuit suspect actually slammed into his car in the driveway. Foster was not home during the second crash.
My son was, but he works afternoons. He was sleeping, didn't even faze him. Slept through the whole thing.
So unlucky, 2 accidents there. Foster says that he has good insurance, so he's okay, and will not let this impact his positive attitude.
The city of Sacramento is awarding $1 million in grant funding to programs helping women and children experiencing homelessness. The funds will go to 2 nonprofit organizations. Those groups are City of Refuge and St. John's Program for Real Change. Both of them help women and children facing homelessness.
The city reached out to all the providers, figuring out how could we best use $1 million. It's not enough money. We actually got 10 times that amount requested for services. But these 2 programs have a track record of helping out our community in not only the Stockton Broadway corridor, but throughout the city region.
The city says it is important to help homeless families find shelter before winter. Officials say more than 375 Sacramento families are currently homeless. 100 California National Guard troops will remain at the southern border. Governor Gavin Newsom signed an order yesterday extending the deployment through March of 2020. The troops are currently supporting U.S. Customs and Border Protection agents. Officials say the Cal Guard members are in charge of making sure illegal drugs and pesticides don't make it over the border into the United States. The State Department's Inspector General has asked for an urgent briefing with senior congressional members today. Right now, it's not clear why the IG asked for this private meeting, but insiders say it's an unusual move. Yesterday, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo pushed back on Democrats' demands to turn over documents related to Ukraine and to depose current and former state officials. All of this centers around a whistleblower who alleges President Trump sought help from Ukraine's government to investigate Joe Biden and his son. Well, now Democrats also want to know more about Rudy Giuliani's role, if any, when it came to policy in Ukraine.
A week ago, I asked the head of the United States intelligence what was Mr. Giuliani's role, and he honestly had no clue. That's a horrible way to run a government. It's particularly dangerous, especially when you're talking about classified information.
As of right now, it's not clear what the Inspector General is going to give congressional members. 3 congressional committees are probing whether the president solicited help from Ukraine to dig up dirt on presidential candidate Joe Biden. That, again, after a whistleblower filed a complaint about the call the president had with his Ukrainian counterpart in July and an alleged cover-up.
America's first cannabis cafe opened its doors yesterday, and business is already booming. Weed enthusiasts from around the country flocking to the Lowell Cafe in West Hollywood. The restaurant offers farm-to-table cuisine alongside a wide array of pot products. Flower Hosts helps diners navigate the menu, then giving advice on the best strain of marijuana to pair with their meal. The cafe's general manager says that the goal is to provide a safe space to smoke pot and eat good food. Look at that.
It's 7:06 on your Wednesday. Let's check in with meteorologist Adam Epstein to find out how it feels outside. It was a little chilly earlier on.
Yeah, I was just outside about 15 minutes ago, and I'll tell you, I'm glad to be back indoors. Temperatures in the mid and low 40s to start the day. These are the coolest conditions we felt in months. It's been a while since summer started. Let's get into the forecast. I want to show you current conditions here. In Sacramento, 43 degrees. So I thought the low would be 45, and that was chilly. Now 43. Fortunately, the winds are calm, so we don't have to worry about any wind chills. And we are in the 40s across the board here from Sacramento down to Grass Valley and Marysville. So keep that in mind when you head outside and start your day. We don't have much of that breeze, but we do have an area of low pressure that's in the Gulf of Alaska right here. You can see that counterclockwise rotation, and then notice the dip in the wind streams. That's where the cold front corresponds with it. And notice how close it is to Sacramento in Northern California. However, once it passes over, it's going to break up, and you're going to see that in our future cast. So 78 degrees today, all sunshine, and here's the front, way off to the left of your screen. Getting closer and closer, and these are the overnight hours now, 3 a.m. That front's approaching the coast, and then it really breaks up. So if anything, we see a few clouds, but it's likely when we're all sleeping. By the time you wake up, it's sunshine. Tomorrow afternoon will be just like this afternoon, sunny and in the upper 70s. But we do get a touch warmer as we go into Friday. Forecast high of 79 degrees, and that warming trend continues right on through the weekend. Low 80s on Saturday, upper 80s on Sunday. Both great days to be outside. Monday close to 90 degrees. Then we go to Tuesday, 85, mostly sunny. I think we can get a few clouds. The storm looks like we'll truck to our north, but I'll keep an eye on that one for you. That's it for your forecast. Over to Martina to check on the roads.
Thank you. Let's go ahead and show you what we have in store right now. This is heading out towards the Yolo Causeway, 80 westbound over by West Capitol. So you can see a little bit of a grind out there. We are dealing with slowdowns, but no accidents for us. And so you can see 80 has some pockets of slowdowns. 50 is pretty slow, especially around Mayhew. And let's get on over to Eric Morales now. Good morning.
Good Good morning, Martina. We have a two-vehicle, nine-injury traffic collision. This is a possible hit-and-run westbound I-80 just east of West Texas Street. One vehicle remains on scene as CHP is en route to assist. Also in the Tracy area, we have a two-vehicle minor injury traffic collision westbound I-580 just east of Corral Hollow Road. We still have one vehicle in the center divide. CHP is en route to safely move them to the shoulder. No other calls at this time, Martina. Back to you.
Thank you. 19 minutes on 99, 20 minutes on I-5 to get out into downtown Sacramento. So still a little slow out there trying to get through, and we're probably going to expect some more slowdowns because of that. All right, back over to you now, Simone and Pedro.
All right, Martina, thank you. It's a stat you might be shocked to hear. 27% of U.S. adults say they didn't read a book all of last year.
Yeah, not even one part of a book here. That includes electronic, print books, even audiobooks. The Pew Research Center survey, they also looked into those non-readers. Turns out people who didn't go to college and those who make less than $30,000 a year were less likely to pick up a book. Nearly a decade ago, only 19% of folks said that they didn't read a book for the past year. Kind of makes sense here. You know, with the growth in technology, of course, that's going to have an impact on books. But I recommend anyone out there, if you haven't read a book, you can listen to it. Audiobooks are always the best way to go.
Yeah, you're big on audiobooks. I just finished up Hamilton, which took me about a month. So, you know, hey, sometimes it's just about getting started, right?
Yeah.
Just give it a try.
Ford makes a bold move in their fleet program with a plug-in hybrid. Yes, this is all for small business delivery. We're going to tell you more about this and why it won't be available here.
And a production